All right, so in this Microsoft Azure Fundamentals lab sim, we are going to create a virtual network. So let's get started. It says here, in this walkthrough, we will create a virtual network, deploy 2 virtual machines onto that virtual network, and then configure them to allow one virtual machine to ping the other one within the virtual network. Cool. So let's do this. The first thing we're going to do is sign in to our Azure portal, as always. We're going to go to portal.azure.com. Brings us to the sign in page, and let's input our information here. Okay, get rid of all of these pop-ups and things they want us to click. Okay, next we're going to go to the All Services here on our drop-down menu, the 3 horizontal lines, and then we're going to click Virtual Networks here. Let's get rid of these pop-ups, and then we're going to click Create. Now on the Basics tab, we're going to start filling in our information. We're going to keep some stuff set to default for the sake of this being a lab simulation. So the subscription is going to stay that, and the resource group, we have a drop-down menu, but this is the only one we have, so that's going to stay as default. We are going to name the virtual network VNet1, and we're going to keep it on US East. And that's pretty much it. After that, we're going to click Review and Create. It's going to run a validation, and then we are going to create. And now it's done. That was pretty quick. All right, next thing we are going to do is we are going to create our 2 virtual machines that are going to communicate with each other within this VNet. So let's go back to the 3 lines here. We're going to go to All Services, then we're going to click Virtual Machine, and then we're going to click Create Azure Virtual Machine. Now on the Basics tab here, we're going to start filling information. We're going to keep the subscription as default. We're going to open the drop-down menu here and select the default resource group that we have here. We're going to name this virtual machine VM1, and we're going to change from US East 2 to US East just blank. All right, we don't get any information about availability zones, so we'll leave that alone. We do have to change the image. We are going to choose our Windows Server 2019 database, and then we're going to make some administrator credentials here. So we're going to be Azure user, and we're going to input our password. Okay, next we want to do public inbound ports. We do want to set that to allow selected ports, which it's already on, and we're going to keep select inbound ports as RDP. That's all we need. All right, next we're going to go to the networking tab here, and we're going to make sure that the virtual machine is placed in VNet1, which it is. We're going to review the default settings, and we're not going to make any other changes. And that's it. So we have load balancing options at the bottom here. There's availability zones on the Basics page. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into creating these, but we're just kind of creating a foundation just to you know, learn where to click and how to do just like simple stuff. So let's click Review and Create now. That's going to be our first virtual machine, and we're basically going to start repeating the process to create the other virtual machines. So here we can monitor our deployment. Oh, whoops, actually, my bad. We're going to click Create. This is our confirmation page. And now we'll click Create. Here in our notifications, we were able to monitor our deployment. And while we do that, we are going to create our second virtual machine. So just as we did before, we're going to go to the 3 lines, All Services, Virtual Machine, We're going to click Create, Azure Virtual Machine, and same process. We're going to name this virtual machine VM2 this time. We're going to change it to US East US. Keep it in the same availability zone. Don't change any of that. We're going to go to Windows Server 2019 database. Alright, we got a note here that we're good. Keep all that information. We are going to use the same administrator credentials from before. Okay, public inbound ports, allow selected ports. We got RDP, that's looking good. Go to the networking tab, make sure that it's in VNet 1. Make sure that the public IP is VM2 IP this time. And from here, we can just start reviewing and creating. We're good to go. Confirmation page, validation pass, click Create. Now we're going to wait for both virtual machines to deploy, and we want their statuses to say running. So this might take a minute, but if I open the notifications, you can see here we got the virtual network, which is VNet 1. We got our first virtual machine, which is VM1. Now we're working on our second virtual machine, which is going to be VM2. And then we'll start testing the connection. Alright, there we go. Deployment succeeded for all three things that we created. So now we're going to try to test whether the virtual machines can communicate to each other. We're going to use the ping command. If not, we will install a rule to allow ICMP connection. Usually ICMP connections are automatically blocked. So from the all services, let's go to the three lines. We're going to go home, and then we're going to go to all resources. We're going to search for our VM1, which is right here, virtual machine. We're going to open the overview tab, which we have open already. Status does say running, so we're good to go there. And now we're going to select connect. We're going to come to this page. We're going to download the RDP file. We're going to open the file. We're going to get this window. From here, it's going to ask us for those administrator credentials that we created. We're going to get a warning here, certificate warning. We're just going to click yes to create the connection. Alright, there you go. We got our first virtual machine up and running. Well, let's minimize this while it's loading up Server Manager and everything else. We are going to open up that second virtual machine now. Okay, so let's repeat the process. Let's go home, all resources, look for VM2. We're going to select connect. We're going to download the RDP file. There's VM2. Let's open it. Select connect. Input the password. Press yes. Now we have this one opening up. Let's go back to our VM1. See how it's doing. There it is, Server Manager. Next thing we're going to do on both machines, let me X out of this. We are going to disable both the public and private firewalls by opening the start menu. So we're going to go to the little search icon down here. If it decides to open, we're going to type firewall. Here's Windows Defender Firewall. And we are going to disable the firewall here. That way we can successfully ping each other. So this one's disabled. That was VM1. Let's go to VM2. Let it open up all this stuff because we're just going to end up closing it. We don't need it. Now we're going to do the same thing with the firewall. This time we'll do it a different way. We'll open the start menu. We'll right click the start menu. We'll go to settings. Let's go to network and internet. And then Windows Firewall. And then we have our domain network. Firewalls are on for publics and privates. So we could turn them off like this. Private firewall. Turn it off. There we go. Let's just confirm that. I usually like using the old-fashioned control panel view, but just for the sake of trying something different, I wanted to do it that way, but I just want to confirm it real quick. There you go, yeah. Public and private are indeed off. So we're good. Okay, now we're going to, what are we on right now? We are on VM2. Let me just double check. Let's X out of here and start all over. Let's go to VM1. Alright, we're going to open up a Windows PowerShell. Let's get some information here. Let's do an IP config /all. We can see that this is the 10.0.0.4 IPv4 address. If we were to do an NS lookup on VM2, we're going to get a non-authoritative answer of 10.0.0.5. Okay, that's a way to look up our private IP address here. So far so good. Now let's do a ping. We could do a ping of VM2 because we are on VM1. So far so good. We sent 4. 4 were received, and we have a 0% loss. So yeah, we were successful in pinging this network. So we configured and deployed 2 virtual machines in a virtual network, and then we were able to connect them. Let's come out of here. Let's go to VM2, and just for a bit of redundancy, we can open up a PowerShell over here. Hold on. Let me make sure I open up. There we go. And then we could type ping VM1. And there you go. Things are looking pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, before we delete everything, what we're going to do, we're going to use one more command here. We're going to use the shutdown-i command, which brings up the remote shutdown dialog. I use this a lot. I work at a high school, and if I need to find a laptop, or if I need teachers or students to bring a laptop to me, I will just remotely shut down your laptop and I'll make you bring it to me. That's like one of the best ways for me to retrieve laptops for inventory. So here in computer name, we're going to put VM1 because that's what the computer is called. We are on VM2 right now. We are going to click OK. We are going to do a shutdown. We're going to warn the users of their actions, and then right here we're going to type and then we're going to click OK. There you go. So far it was successful. We didn't get any error message. So if we go back to VM1, you'll see we got our little pop-up here. You are about to be signed out. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. So yeah, let's shut down this remote connection here. This one will just turn off by itself. And lastly, we're just going to delete everything. There you go. Now it's gone down here. So let's go back to our home, all of our resources. Let's check mark everything here. Let's select delete. Let's confirm the deletion by typing delete. And then let's delete. And yeah, that's it for this video. We created a virtual network. Then we created 2 virtual machines. And then we test the connectivity of those 2 virtual machines on the same network. And we used the ping command, and we used the remote shutdown dialog command, which was shutdown -I. And that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. See ya.